Hello, Royal Affairs family. This is Roy,
And I'm Yolanda.
and we're your guides in Royal Affairs, where we show you affairs done right.
So we're gonna dive right into some questions and
Ooh, okay.
that we usually get. But before we do that,
Hey, we want to make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. Go ahead, show us some love. Let us know if this content is being helpful to you. And then also, so that you don't make a mistake and miss any of our content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll see all of our content fresh off the press when it comes out.
fresh off the press. So one of the questions, or two of the questions that we get a lot is our relationship worth saving, and should we seek counseling?
Good
and
questions.
again, Roy and I always want to make sure that we let everyone know we are not counselor, we're not therapists. Roy likes to put in there, or relationship gurus. We're here to share our story. Nothing special about us. We don't have the magic cure-all, be-all. We're just sharing what has helped us, in the hopes that some of the tips and resources and things that we've done, you can take what you need on your journey. So,
Correct.
Is our relationship worth saving? Well, we can't speak for you guys. We can only speak for us. And babe, I'll let you, what was going through your mind, because I know those things are in your mind, like, okay, is this even worth it?
Is it even worth it? Yeah. So you kind of go through the mental gymnastic between the pros and the cons. And so the first pro for me was, you and I have been together, and at that time, 20 plus years. So that's a lot of time, effort, energy, commitment. And we had stood before God and said, till death do us part, through sickness and health. And so one of the things I wanted to make sure that I did too was really look at the mistakes of infidelity. Was that worth throwing everything away at that particular moment? So really had to, kind of dig deep and say, the things that we have built together are worth saving.
Yeah. So immediately after, I don't want to say immediately after finding out, but I too had to go through the mental gymnastics of, is this relationship worth saving? And honestly, on the onset, I was like, no. Nope, don't wanna do this. And that was the hurt speaking, mm-hmm. right? That was the hurt and the pain and the anguish and the confusion and all the other myriad of emotions that I experienced. So on that onset, it was no. Journaling, though, I definitely said, okay, well, let's list out all of let's list these positives, and let's list the negatives of staying together. And even though there was still that fresh hurt there at the time, I was able to go beyond, or move through, or work through, or push through that push through that hurt to write down those list of positives. And like you said, we've been at this thing 20 plus years. I did not want to throw away. I don't like the word throw away, but I believe that we had more in us. Like, I believed that this wasn't the end of our story, even though it sure seemed like it sure felt like it. I believe that it wasn't the end of our story.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep, the love and commitment that we had to each other, even though times were difficult, it was worth seeking to say, is the words that we said, I love you, even in good times and bad times, would those really, hold true? And so I knew that I loved you, still love you, and wanted our relationship to continue.
Right. And so obviously you do your pros and then you do your cons. So some of the cons were with me again, obviously, as the one who was dealt this blow was, well, what if it happens again? What if all of the what ifs, those were definitely the cons. What if it happens again? What if our children find out? And eventually did anyway. Group one anyway.
We shared it with them. Not a find out.
Well,
shared.
Technically, that middle child, no, that oldest daughter. Okay, if you want to know how that happened, drop in the comments, spill the tea, and we'll consider spilling the tea on that. But yeah, just and another comment was, what if I'm unhappy? What if, I'm absolutely positively miserable? What if we can't rebuild? What if we can't move past this or work through this? So again, all of the what ifs were definitely cons. And at the end of the day, my mandate was to give you another chance, remain in the marriage, and share the story. So
yeah. Kind of carrying along with the question of is our relationship worth saving? What were some of the cons? I guess from my perspective, it was, would you be labeled as the unfaithful husband, as the cheater? So carrying around that particular stigma, if you will. But even if we weren't to stay together, that would probably still be the case. But in your head, you're thinking that this would be something that looks a whole lot worse if we were staying together. But if we separated, then we could go our separate ways and kind of live our own separate lives. But then there's the just from a guy's perspective, all the logistics of what does it mean to kind of go through a divorce, and who gets the house, what about the kids, and you get the house, and paying alimony, and all those types of things, and being out there in those single streets is, boy, that's, y'all can have it.
I was going to say our oldest son, I was actually talking to our oldest son and our daughter-in-law FaceTiming, and our middle daughter happened to see and took my phone. When she brought it back to me, they were talking about her brother asked her, well, am I gonna have to, he didn't say beat up, I can't remember what the words, but basically like, am I gonna have to come down there and see what's up with whomever you start dating? And she was like, I'm not about to be dating anyone. She's actually getting ready to go off to grad school. And next week, yeah, we got a busy schedule. And then she mentioned our younger daughter, and she said, well, she's only 10, you got a little bit of ways though. And somehow or another, the conversation got to, well, our middle daughter said, well, I ain't about to look for anybody anyway, because these dating streets, they for the birds. And I was like, oh wow, that's what I've heard. I've heard that the dating pool out there is not all that wonderful. So our son and daughter-in-law both thanked each other that they are not in that, they're not in that dating pool arena. So I don't know if that necessarily I don't necessarily know if that crossed my mind, but I did was like, if there was not an us, I was like, then I'm done, because I don't have that. Like, I done put in all of these years, and what if? Then that's the thing, you go through those what ifs again. So it may be more beneficial to see if things can be worked out with the one that you have been with for 20 some odd years, 15 some odd years. Again, we're not therapists, not saying that's what is best for you guys, but something to consider. Yeah. Another thing you want to think about when you talk about is your relationship worth saving is talking about those future goals. Right, so discussing those shared future aspirations and seeing if they aligned. And I think our future goals have always been the same. I don't know I was going to say they've always aligned, but you're talking about like retiring now, like not necessarily now, but you're talking about
being an expat, moving out the country. Y'all can have America.
Yeah, but we still got younger kids,
Yeah.
and we still got older kids, and anyway, so yeah, but our goals have, I think, always aligned. Our vision has always, been the same. We've expounded upon that vision, but it's not as if there's been like you're right here and I'm right there and there's no right. We've usually like this. Now how we get there may differ. Like you wanting to say you want to be here and this, and I'm like, no, let's maybe wait this many years. But again, am I making sense? Am I rambling
so those future goals, that future vision to travel together, to raise our family together, raise our kids, set them up for success, to build generational wealth and pass that generational wealth on, as well as the sage wisdom that we've learned together as husband and wife, being able to share that with our kids and our grandkids and our god kids as well. So I think those shared future goals were the things that were kind of in our heads as well as we were thinking about, is our relationship worth saving? And then ultimately to, retire, live on the beach, drinking pina coladas, daiquiris, and just being at a point where we can live comfortably and enjoy our time together.
Yeah, and also, and you didn't mention it, but I know even when we first started dating, like service, like and serving our community. So whether that was our church community, whether that is serving in our respective alma maters, Morehouse and Spelman, the schools, we homeschool now, but when the kids were in school, just serving as a community volunteer. So those goals were always there. Right. We just had to, push through the hurt to
see those goals,
to see them again. Indeed. And then another question or another thing that may come up is when you're thinking about, is our relationship worth saving, is do we need a trial separation? Right? So you consider you possibly may want to consider a temporary break to gain perspective. That was not the case for us. I think there was, and not to say that I didn't think about it, because I did, but we had two little ones at the time, and the logistics of getting the little one. There again with the logistics. There again with the logistics of getting everything, and so that was not the avenue that we took.
Correct. We
do know though couples that have taken that avenue, and they are together and thriving and really, really growing. So that is possibly an option, that couples may want to consider.
Yeah. Considering a temporary break just to gain perspective. Not a temporary break to go out there and sow more wild oats, or the revenge date or what have you, but a trial separation just to kind of give yourself some time to breathe, really do some self-introspection, some one-on-one counseling as well may be helpful as you're thinking about, hey, is our relationship worth saving? So we went over the pros and the cons, future goals, and maybe considering child separation as people are thinking about, is your relationship worth saving?
Yeah. And before we go right to the next one, really quickly, when we said a trial separation, I immediately thought, do you know what movie I immediately thought of? Bobby, I hung these. What's the name of that movie? Regina King and Will Smith. Enemy of the State. Right, when she was like, and infidelity was one of the things that was in there.
Allegedly.
Well, no.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Infidelity was,
yeah.
you know, and she was like, we spent years of counseling in this, and this isn't who she was. Will Smith character Bobby was like, no, that's not. I promise, you know, ever since the time, like, I just got information from her. That's it. And at the end of the day, Regina King was like, listen, I need you to go because I need some space right now because I need to think, I need to clear my head. Right. Sometimes that, you know, that happens, that just made me think of that. But
it's great that you brought that movie up in Enemy of the State, because we like to watch movies too.
Good movies, man, the past couple of movies that we've been watching have just not been all that great. But you know what? We spent
those movies were not worth saving or ever watching again.
But we spent time together. You know, got the kids in bed, had our date night, and everything like that. But yeah, Enemy of the State, good movie.
Good movie.
All these other movies we've been watching recently, not so good.
So, if you like what you're hearing, again, I'm going to ask, and please, sir, hit the like button. And then as well, if you would like to see more of our amazing content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
We're aiming for 50 subscribers,
Let's
y'all.
do that.
Well, that's our first goal, right?
Right. And hit the notification bell as well so that you are notified when our content does drop. So, I'm Roy.
And I'm Yolanda.
And we're your guys in Royal Affairs, where we show you
affairs done right. See you guys next time.